Welcome, Statistics 2 students. This is Professor Dickerson going to show you how to get started on your poster project. So for this project, you'll be analyzing real estate data. For most people, their home is the largest purchase that they'll make in their lifetime. So even if you don't go into real estate for a profession, this project may benefit you personally when you go to buy a house in a few years. All right, so I'm on redfin.com. This is a real estate listing website. Um, And this will allow us to look for homes that are either for sale or that have sold already around the country. So, a nice thing about this project is you get to pick where it is you'd like to study. For my demo, I'm going to suppose that maybe I want to move to Washington, D.C. So, initially, it's going to show properties that are for sale. We are going to look at the data, though, of what actually happened. What did properties sell for? So go up to more filters, and where it says listing status for sale, change that to off, which should automatically cause sold to be on. Okay, so the circles are now blue. And to compare these properties in a fair way, we're going to limit our search to houses, condos, and townhouses. So these are all properties that a single family would live in. All right. So if you're in a big metro area, you should have hundreds of properties at this point, so that would be good. If you're in a more rural area, you can either look at a longer period of time, like 6 months or a year, or you could zoom out. I'm not going to do it here, but if you click Remove Outline, it's going to look beyond this defined area into the surrounding areas. Okay, so play around with that until you have a few hundred homes at least. And then apply filters. All right, so it's going to show you pictures of some of these homes that have sold already. Scroll down until you reach the end of those pictures, about a third of the way. And you're looking for where it has the different pages of listings. So if you're lucky, next to where it says which page you're viewing, it'll say download all. Um, if it doesn't, and I have to warn you, for Philly and South Jersey and even Central Jersey, some of it won't let you download. I'm not sure why, but in that case, you'll have to pick a different area. Okay, for DC though, I can download. So this will be in a file with a CSV extension, giving us lots of information about every single property that met our filter criteria. All right. So probably the most important variable that we're going to be looking at is the price and trying to predict the price based on other things. So, what else might be important? The number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, the neighborhood that it's in, square feet of the house or property itself, the size of the lot, the year that it was built, how long it was on the market, and this is just by dividing the dollars per square feet. For properties with homeowners associations, this is their monthly dues. And the other important things would be the latitude and the longitude for each property. So you may want to clean this up a little bit and delete columns that aren't really variables. Like, for instance, the sale type, they should all say past sale because we filtered for that. So that's not a variable anymore. You could delete that column. Or for me, at least, I stayed within the city limits. So the city and state aren't a variable anymore. All right. So this one looks pretty good. There are a few properties where there's a couple fields missing, but to contrast, um, earlier I searched for Manhattan. Just kind of curious about the expensive real estate there. Uh, So we do have prices for most of the Manhattan sales, but we're lacking a lot of other information. So most of these places, we don't know how many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, or any of these things. So you would not want to use an empty data set like this to do your project. You know, so maybe you don't get your first choice of city, but you may try a couple until you find one that's interesting to you, yet also has a pretty complete set of data. All right. So once you find that and clean it up a little bit, that actually I'm going to save that somewhere I can find it. All right. So now if you're in Jump, you should be able to open that file. And it will import pretty seamlessly. At least for me, it has. Okay, so here's all our properties. And now you'd be ready to, I don't know, do a two sample t-test or an ANOVA maybe, chi-square test for association. The possibilities are endless. But I'm going to show you something new, which is how to create a map. So go up to Graph and then Graph Builder. And the latitude and longitude are the coordinates for each property. So if you assign longitude as X, so grab longitude, drag and drop in the X region down here, and then latitude assign as Y. Finally, click the scatter plot with the wavy line because we don't want that wavy line. This is now representing the physical locations of the properties. And if you right click in the background and select graph, one of the options is background map. Right, so if you select Street Map Service, press OK, it's going to overlay a street map of that area. So here's Washington, D.C., and the black dots are all of our properties. Now, using these fields off to the right, you may want to experiment some and spice up your map. You can show more than just the locations, for instance. Um, so Washington, D.C. is a pretty historical city. Suppose we're interested in when the properties were built. So I could grab your built and maybe color code according to that. So drop over in the color region. All right. So the older properties are in blue, with dark blue being the oldest. And then the more recent properties, I guess, including properties that haven't even sold yet, are in red. So you can get an idea of the layout or just the general trends in the city. Looks like for Washington, D.C., the more old historical homes are closer to downtown, and then the newer properties are more on the outskirts, which is what you'll probably find in a lot of major cities. Okay, so I look forward to seeing your graphs, and uh, this will be a fun project, I hope. Okay.